Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this 15th session of this Ramadan Tafseer. And in this session, which we're now at the halfway point of Ramadan, may Allah accept all that we have done and whatever is to come. May Allah make us reap the most rewards from this blessed month in the little time we have left. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa afdal salati wa tammu taslim ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. In today's episode, I'll be looking at Surah Isra, also referred to as Banu Israel, as they will mention them and how they were removed from the Holy Lands in the past, and how Allah has used even non-Muslims, because they were the Muslims at the time, how He used non-Muslims to remove them through Bukht Nasr, as such, one king, pagan king it was. The Surah Isra, it is about this special night journey. It is about the personality of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it will be again regarding beliefs, being a Makki surah. Surah Isra, Allah subhanahu starts with Subhanalladhi, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjidil haram ila al-masjidil aqsa alladhi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina innahu huwa as-sami'ul basir. And here Allah starts with Subhanallah, Subhanalladhi, that how far Allah is from deficiency, how perfect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. And He starts with this because what is to come will be the mention of that special night journey, and because it's being of that miraculous nature and that extraordinary event, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts with such a befitting opening. And He says, Subhanalladhi asra bi'abdihi, who took His servant, His abd, on this special night journey. And reference to abdihi, that it was His servant, it was for honor of the Prophet ﷺ and to raise his his position, his rank, how he is, the Prophet ﷺ. Laylan, and this is now comes in the form that is not within alif lam, it's not a specified form, a night. So it was to refer to a little, so a little of the night, a little portion of the night, that it was this special miraculous night journey where He went faster than the speed of light on Buraq to Masjid al-Aqsa, and then shown that He was the Imam of the Mursaleen, the leader of all the prophets, as they prayed behind Him. And then He shot up right through to the heavens, to Sidratul Muntaha, where after that no creation has ever been, except the Prophet ﷺ was the first to go, where he would go and see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that would be faster than, well, that would be breaking time, that would be time travel, because every ascent he took, the world before him, behind him, was a distant past, and we're going further and further back in the past. Because there he saw the angels in the ranks, the people of Jannah in Jannah, the people of Jahannam in Jahannam, being punished, being rewarded, the prophets in their places. He saw the Sirat, he saw he saw everything that was as if he had travelled to the future. And again, there's no time, there's no sense of time in that place as we have here. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps us, for our days and for our nights, for our rest, for our work. So this was that special night journey. And in here, in the first ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started with Subhanallah. He has mentioned an abd, His abd, and He has mentioned laylan, so to say a little portion of the night. In the next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ يَدَكَ مَغْلُولَةً إِلَىٰ عُنُقِكَ وَلَا تَبْسُطْهَا كُلَّ الْبَسْطِ فَتَقْعُدَ مَلُومًا مَحْسُورًا. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning about the one who is a stingy person, and then the other person who's a spendthrift, who keeps spending like anything. So وَلَا تَجْعَلْ يَدَكَ, and let not your hand be tied to your neck. So here's an isti'ara. It's like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is painting the picture that your hand is tied to your neck. This is for the stingy person who now he can't give, because how can you give when you're in such a state like this as well? This is how that stingy person is. He's giving us a really demonstrative example. And then He says, so do not be that type, or the one وَلَا تَبْسُطْهَا كُلَّ الْبَسْطِ, that do not be the one who is now overstretched his arm and he has put it so far that he cannot keep anything back, he cannot save anything, he's not making savings, because he's just a spendthrift, he's just spending and spending. He has no sense of how to save money. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us about not being two types of people, and obviously it's to be the moderate. And this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala using isti'ara in this form. In the next verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِذَا أَنْعَمْنَا عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ أَعْرَضَ وَنَأَى بِجَانِبِهِ وَإِذَا مَسَّهُ الشَّرُّ كَانَ يَئُوسًا. And when we bestow our grace on man, on person, on man, women, she turns away. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us grace, bounties, and we turn away from that in arrogance and becoming arrogant. And when evil touches him, he is in great despair. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when we give blessings and bounties to man, to woman, then this is now saying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving goodness. So this is an ayah teaching us adab, that this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala giving, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used that when we give. He's used in the plural form as he does throughout the Quran. But then when evil touches him, and then he didn't say when Allah gives evil, because good and bad, khair and shar, is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But when it says when evil touches him, so when evil touches him, this is not now associating it with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at all. To show adab, we do not associate bad things and evil things with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's in great despair. So similarly, another ayah from the Quran, in another verse, Surah Al-Shu'ara. Now this is Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam, who says regarding Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, الَّذِي خَلَقَنِي فَهُوَ يَهْدِينَ, who created me and who guides me. So Allah has created him, he's referred to Allah, he's associated with Allah, and who guides me, فَهُوَ يَهْدِينَ, Allah is the one who guides. So he's associated, he said, he is the one who guides me, he is the one who created me. وَالَّذِي هُوَ يُطْعِمُنِي وَيَسْقِينَ, and he's the one who feeds me. يُطْعِمُنِي هُوَ يُطْعِمُنِي هُوَ يَسْقِينَ, فَهُوَ يَسْقِينَ, he's the one who also gives me to drink. So again, giving to food and giving drink is now linked to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then he says, وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ, and when I get sick, فَهُوَ يَشْفِينَ, when I get sick. So now Ibrahim alayhi salam showing us adab with Allah. He's saying that it's not Allah who's making him sick, although it is true. Without doubt that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings harm, brings good, brings bad, brings illness, brings calamities, brings tests, everything. But he did not associate that, Ibrahim alayhi salam. But he said, وَإِذَا مَرِضْتُ, when the whole way he was saying that when it's Allah who's giving me this and Allah is giving me that, he said that when I get sick, it is Allah who then he associated with, because the shifa then came from Allah, then he said that it's Allah who gives shifa. So this is adab with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this book is of adab. This book is of many wonders and many things about conduct, many things about laws, and it's all a benefit for us, and it's upon us that we don't just recite it so fast and just go through it and do khatams like I mentioned, but we understand it. May Allah give us understanding of it, and we take the lessons from it and we apply it in our lives. So when we come across these verses, we realize that there's something in it for us that we need to benefit from. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم.